Circling is a helpful technique that asks a series of questions that always goes back to the target language concept you're trying to teach. This could be new vocabulary words or even embedded grammar sentence structures. Now, let's look at the 6 steps to circling. Step number 1, give a positive statement that contains your target language concept. So for example, this is a motorcycle. Step number 2, ask a question where the answer is yes, like, is this a motorcycle? Step number 3, ask a question with a negative answer. Is this a boat? Step number 4, ask a question that contains either or. Is this a motorcycle or a bicycle? Step number 5, restate your answer. No, that is not a bicycle. That is a motorcycle. And finally, step number 6, ask them an open-ended question. It could be one of the WH questions. For example, what is this? And they have to actually give you the answer. It's a motorcycle. This method looks simple, right? Now let me demonstrate it in a different language so that you can experience how it feels to be a learner. I've invited my friend Stacy to join me to learn Cantonese. 呢隻係倉鼠。呢隻係咪倉鼠啊？
Yes.
咁呢隻係咪松鼠？
No.
咁呢隻係倉鼠定老鼠？
倉鼠。
咁呢隻係乜嘢啊？
倉鼠。
Now that we have TPR down, let's add PQA, personalized questions and answers, into the mix. PQA is a great way to have a connection with your students because it makes the questions more meaningful and relevant to them. And it also adds extra repetition and engagement with the class. Now here's an example of using circling and PQA together. I can say, who in this class wants a motorcycle? Oh, Peter wants a motorcycle. Class, what does Peter want? Motorcycle. Does Peter want a motorcycle or a tricycle? And maybe the class laughs and you go, that is silly. Of course Peter does not want a tricycle. He wants a motorcycle. In that way, you engage your class both with more repetition, circling, as well as personalize it. So the whole class becomes more involved. Now, here are some tips you want to keep in mind when you use circling. First, determine how much you want to circle based on the level of your students. Some classes, if they know the word already, don't need that much circling, but others need the word repeated again and again before they get it. Second, stay in bounds when you ask questions. That means besides the target vocabulary, don't add in too many additional words that they don't know yet, or that will make them feel lost. Third, speak slowly. Remember, this is a new language for your students. They need shorter sentences and simple words so that they don't get lost in the process. Next, you want to point to the words as you say it, because that helps them visualize how the word sounds as well as the meaning. Try to get everyone involved responding to your questions, because that will keep them engaged and motivated. And finally, make it about connecting to your students. Through personalized questions and being interested in them as a human being, you will form a rapport and bond with your students, and they'd be more willing to answer your questions. So those are all the steps to circling. Try it out in your classroom and let me know how it works in the comments below. In our next video, we're going to talk about my favorite technique, TPRS, that combines both TPR and circling to make class really fun. You don't want to miss it.